Wow, it's Thanksgiving Day, and I hope you're having a wonderful Thanksgiving. Or if you're seeing this later, I hope you did have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm going to a friend's house for Thanksgiving, and I was told to bring nothing. Don't bring anything at all. So of course, I definitely have to bring something. And so I looked in my Pop It in the Toaster Oven cookbook, and I said, what would be a nice sort of autumnal dessert that I could bring? And there is a recipe in here for berry crisp. But what happened was, I went to the farmer's market the other day and came across these absolutely beautiful apples. And they also had walnuts there that looked really good. So I thought, well, what I can do is retrofit this recipe for the ingredients that Berry crisp is going to become apple crisp. And the first thing I'm going to do is preheat my toaster oven to 350 degrees. And then I'll show you what ingredients I have gathered together for the apple crisp. Now there's actually kind of two parts to this very, very simple recipe for our apple crisp. And the first part is the apple mixture. So that consists of, I have here 3 of those beautiful farmer's market apples. I think they were like a tart, sort of like a Granny Smith type. And what I'm going to add to that apple mixture is 2 tablespoons of flour, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of lime juice. You could use lemon juice or lime juice, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. Also, I got inspired, and I had some craisins in the pantry, and I said, you know what, that's going to be a nice touch, a very Thanksgiving type touch. So I have a half a cup of craisins here. Then over here you'll need another bowl for the mixture that goes on top. And then I have a little 8x8 foil pan that I have oiled, as you can see. And now I'm going to do the apple mixture first. And so in go all the ingredients, just right into the apple sliced. These, by the way, they are sliced quite thinly. And of course they've been peeled and cored as well. Here's the brown sugar, the lime juice. It can be fresh if you have it. If not, just the bottled juice is fine. Cinnamon, the craisins, and then I'm just going to add probably, I think like a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Then this just gets mixed up really well. This mixture is just going to go directly into this oiled foil pan, like this. Now I've just set that apple mixture aside, so now I'm going to make the topping. This is whipped butter, by the way, and I think 2 tablespoons. I might have added just a little bit more because it's whipped and has a little more volume. And this is a cup of these beautiful, beautiful walnuts, ground. And then the brown sugar. And then again, I'm just going to add a little salt to this mixture, probably just 1/8 teaspoon. And then I'm going to mix this up really well. The topping now. Spread it evenly all over the top. And now I'm going to put the apple crisp into the toaster oven. It's up to temperature at 350. And I'm using the coordinates from my previous recipe, which said 350 at 30, minutes. So that's what I'm going to set the timer for, and then I'll test it to see if it's done. I have to admit that my original recipe called for 400 degrees. I put it at 350, so at the end of 30 minutes I found out that the apples weren't quite cooked. So I had to put it in for another 10 minutes. So the total baking time was 40 minutes on this. And you can see that the topping is really crisp and brown. It's very brown. I think it's going to be quite lovely. Anyway, I guess this is what we do, you know, when we have to adjust a recipe. I would try this again. I think you should try it. I recommend, if you're going to do it at 350, 40 minutes would be better than 30.